one of them.
So much bulk. Oh, wait. I've got to do the thing with the thing. Here we go. Here comes
You
the
want to see some bulk? I'll just stand up.
Wait.
Roll the thing. Please roll the thing now.
That's for Julian, and he's not here. Here we go. Here comes the music. The music's not very loud. There we go. So terrible.
Woo!
Production value on this program is.
It needs more lasers.
It does need more lasers. Everything needs more lasers.
Needs some aliens.
It needs less epilepsy.
As everyone needs more epilepsy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Brick's Messy Monday. And it is quite messy. How are you? Good to see you here. Our friend Mr. Sandlin is not here. He was feeling a little allergy and all that kind of stuff. So he's taking a break this evening. But the rest of us are here. And 2 of the 6 of us have been to a Lego convention this weekend on one side of the state. And then 2 more of us has been to a local show. And I sat at home doing work. So that's not fair at all. But how are you, gents?
Well, that's only partially true because I only took and set up and then left.
Yeah, I'll bring Dana's 2 sets up and redesign them on TV and you can watch. Well, that'll be fun.
So, here we go. Let me get over here to the comments. We have just a couple of people joining us so far. So, anyway, all right. So let's just go ahead and let's let the awesome friends who went to Bricks Cascades go ahead and talk. Captain, you got your ships back together already?
I'm in the process of reassembling them. I've gotten 3 of the 9. No, that's the truth. Yeah, 3 of the 9 big ones done.
Wow. So they break down and then stay together pretty well, I take it?
Yeah, just the masks come off, and then some of them come apart into sections, and some of them don't, and they go in a bin, and yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out which masks go on which ships.
The real question is, have you washed the salt brine out of your beard from your voyage?
For my what now?
Have you washed the brine water out of your beard from your sea voyage?
No, it gives it character and volume.
That's going to be the name of my memoir, Character and Volume. That's Anyway, how was your experience at Bricks Cascade? This is not your first one, I take it.
This is my first one as a builder.
Oh, okay.
BrickCon was the first time I'd gone as a builder, and then this was the second time I'd ever gone to a con as a builder, or to Brick Cascade as a builder. I did go to Bricknick, and I brought one of my little frigates before I even had the sails on it, so that was new. It was amazing. Our setup was very well received. They actually gave us all the space we asked for, which is amazing because we asked for a lot of space.
Space.
We got about 32 feet of table space.
Wow.
And we used it all. We did win one of the trophies for our category. We won squad tactics, I think.
Cool.
Which made sense because we were actually set up in the actual configuration for the Battle of Trafalgar, where the Victory broke the line and tactics and all of that. So that made perfect sense. We also, more important to us than that, we received this accolade.
Nice.
Oh.
So we got interviewed for that, and they declared us to be their favorite. And we also received this little trophy. I doubt you're going to be able to read the name that's on there, but
it says R2's butt.
No.
I know that signature. That's Jen Smart.
Yep, it was given to us by Jen Smart.
Here. I have mine. Here's mine.
Where's yours? Show the thing. Aha!
This
You
was
got the
for
little
Brick
Lego
Fair,
Master thing. That's a really cool little thing. That's awesome.
Brick Fair,
That is very
Virginia.
cool.
Yep, and she did the Lego Master, and she left it at my Painting Lady, so I was very pleased.
Excellent. So, I also won one of the Mega Freestyle build. It was a speed build.
Cool.
For that. And that was about it.
Cool.
That's it?
How late was all the evenings? Did y'all hang out and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we were there till at least 10 every day, I think.
Just 10 at night? I thought they were supposed to be super late night, or like 10 in the morning, and then you slept an hour and came back.
Yeah, we couldn't be bothered with the late night stuff. We're old men. We're boring.
All right. Well, that's one opinion of the convention. Jeff, how was your convention?
Yeah.
It's good. So first day was canceled, so I waited until the second day. Then I got on my airplane eventually. Went to the company dinner that we sponsored. Had a nice time with those folks. And then I eventually made it to the convention, which was great. It was a whirlwind. It was definitely a different experience. Walked around a lot. I took pictures of space in the apocalyptic area and then didn't take any more pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
As well, you should hold up the space in. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I ran into some guy with a crazy beard and like a whole bunch of like sailing ships.
Oh, did he look like? Oh, he's not there. Oh well.
No, he's not
I'm
there.
gone. You can't prove anything.
So that was cool. It was nice to finally meet Captain Xavier. We were all very distracted.
Was it really?
Was it though? Was it?
I mean, we were all very distracted with things, so I didn't really make the time to try to get to know him a bit more, which I probably should have, because he is one of the builders that I look up to. But such is life.
It's
That's one
There
of the
was
things
talk about
people.
having pizza at some point. Then we all disappeared.
That's one of the things. If you've never been to a convention, it's amazing how many 15 different directions you're being pulled at all the time. Like there's always like something cool or someone fun to talk to, and you just wish you had like 5 times as many minutes to dole out.
Yep.
Well,
Random
that
people
was
come
one-
up to you and say things, and you go, "Oh, let's go over and look at that."
Yeah.
Well, I was also being pulled in 12 different directions by my boss. I was definitely working at the con as opposed to attending the con. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wanted to like get Xavier involved in like the company dinners, the company lunches that I was doing, but I also was like, I don't think that he wants to sell on Whatnot. So it had to be people that I knew that wanted to be part of it. I couldn't just be like, hey, I'm taking all my shithead friends out for lunch.
You do that when your boss isn't there.
I kind of did that, and then just called her. It was like, yeah, I had to take some people out to lunch. Went to Red Robin. Bill's $240. Here's my receipt.
There you go.
That's how we got a Lego employee fired once. I'm just going to say that right now.
I thought Hinkle got let go for other reasons.
No, this was a different. This was
Hinkle's
Hinkle. This
predecessor.
is the guy before Hinkle.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But it was good. There was a lot of great creations. I hung out around the Jurassic Park stuff a lot because. So when you guys do your space display, it's a huge display, and there was not a lot of that. There was individual space sets set up, but not like big bases and things like that. It was like intermittently, here's some cool stuff.
There was no moon
there's
base. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, there was, but it was built in giant figures, and it was really cool. And I have pictures of it, but there's nothing like you guys do. Yeah. There was a guy named Ezra who I met who got inducted into the Bearded Builders Guild. He built a 8-foot long sci-fi steampunk airship that looked like a real boat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Ezra was a super nice guy. We hung out a lot, and he was cool, so he satisfied a need I needed at one point.
I'm
gonna let that one ride.
going to welcome the folks in the chat room. Hello, Titanium J. Hello, Pink Wheels. Hello, Axel Plate. Hello, Doc. Hello, Intense is here. All right. I think I've hit everybody that I see. Andrew Sada is here as well. So anyway,
it's legal there. Thank you. But I ran 4 auctions. The first person that won was someone that wasn't there, so we mailed it to them. The second person that won was Joseph Zawada, and he won the new Vespa signed by most of the Lego Masters castmates that were there.
Cool.
The second day, we gave away the Ewok Village, and that was signed by everybody. And I forgot who won that.
Well, it wasn't
but-
me.
It was not you. The person that won all the speed champions was Troy, part of Jesse's Brick Galaxy crew. And so I made sure to find the 80s CMF minifigure and gave him that so that he'd have a driver for the Countach.
Cool.
But Xavier's ships on video do not do them justice in real life at all. They're amazing, and he needs to make spaceships next, and not silly ships.
Now, the next ones I will be building will be the next thing I'll be bringing to a con will be my castle.
Yeah, your castle's good too, but once again, the videos don't do it justice, and I know you try to and all, but like,
Yeah, no, my castle's 4 foot by 8 foot. It's huge.
yeah. But Van Winden's hangar got an award, I think, from somebody, and yeah, it was just a good time. I had mocks to add on to the hangar, as that was the plan. And then when I took them out of my backpack that the airport handled, they were this. So
They are not happy.
I did not rebuild them. Doc, I was at Bricks Cascade.
Sweet.
Yep.
I think we need to address the fact that when Chris announces hello to Doc, he announces it sarcastically.
I didn't mean to.
It was funny.
Anyway, so your trip to Bricks Cascade. All right, so you will have the ability compare Bricks Cascade. I'm just for my curiosity. Compare Bricks Cascade to Brick Fair, Alabama, and just in the mood, the mocks, the people. I mean, I know there's a ton of Lego star power there, right? Because a lot of the Brickmaster family was there, and that was great.
I didn't care about any of that. I cared about meeting the people that I've made friends with, and if they were on a TV show, great.
Right.
I have never felt accepted that much from anyone anywhere at Bricks Cascade. Brick Fair, Alabama, it was odd until I met up with all of you guys.
Yeah.
I like saw familiar faces, but at Bricks Cascade, I walked in the door and was greeted by name. And they're like, "Oh my God, we love your show on Friday." And I went, "What?"
Cool.
Yeah. So I was blown away and was like, people actually like the things that I do, even though I curse and use bad language. Yay!
Who in our chat is running a lathe at the moment, or sandpapering?
Make a noise.
That's me. I'm sorry. Cut me off.
You monster.
Good. I was like, someone's sharpening a blade or something. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
But it was a good time all around. I think that Bricks Cascade is going to be my... If I continue with my company, I'm going to make that my non-working con I go to every year.
I got you.
Because I want to build stuff. I'm going to Brick Rodeo this year as well. I talked to Gil this morning because there was Tech West at Bricks Cascade.
I saw it.
And I talked to the kids about it, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy from Canada did this however many years." I was like, "Gil?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is kind of our love letter to him."
Gil? Oh, somebody wrote him a love letter? That's sad.
But, well, I mean, but they did. I was not dressed as a bear.
All right.
Yeah, it did. It was, yeah. Anyway. But they did this whole Tech West layout. It wasn't as good as Gil's. But I've been talking to Gil this morning, and I think at Brick Rodeo, I'm going to do a 3 base plate, like little town scene with Tech West. I think that's what I'm going to do this year. So
yeah, that's an awesome theme, and it was awesome back in the day, and it still is.
Yeah,
that's super cool. Stever is here. Dude, Jude, welcome. All right, so but
name where I was looking for.
Sweet. So, but like the amount of creations, the like
snap! So there's 1,300 mocks there.
Okay, cool.
Everything was awesome. There was a couple. The talent was up here, and Bricks, Alabama is about here. Okay, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
They didn't have as many big displays or like collabs, but they had like a lot of like just cool stuff, and like every table that you went to, you're like, oh my god, I want to like adjust this and look at it and see how it works. Like there was the guy that go ahead.
Are the tables? Is it like Town and Train table, or is it everybody has their own table and you just stroll around?
It's like Town and Train. Like if it's they have designated sections, and then they have tables around it.
Got it.
And based on how much they have, the Jurassic Park has its own section. It's like I think it's like 5 tables long and 2 or 3 tables wide, and it's just this awesome Jurassic Park thing. Like the last day of the con, some of the staff were dressed up as the dinosaurs, and like there's an announcement that the dinosaurs are broken out of Jurassic Park because of course they did.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was like little things like that, and like going like I don't usually go to any of the seminars at a con. I don't care. But I went to a couple there, and I had a lot of fun learning things and just meeting new people, and it's really bizarre. It's bizarre knowing that I was recognized by complete strangers. I had no idea who they were, but they were like, hey, we really like your show. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it's kind of like adult collecting. And I'm like, yeah, but you use bad language. Yeah, we like it. Oh, okay. Great.
Good. Well, I mean, that's cool. And it sounds like
also business-wise, I'm really excited about this. The Bearded Builders Forge, I'm now a exclusive merchant with them through Whatnot.
Nice.
So I'll be getting their products to sell via auction and buy it now. So I'm really excited about that.
cool.
Cool.
So it sounds like now I mean I love Brick Fair, Virginia and Alabama and stuff like that. But that kind of sounds like we open the building, you guys come hang out and everything. With Bricks Cascade and some of the other shows, it sounds like we have this awesome thing we wanted to join with you in, and we're going to personalize it to who's here and do some things and be a little more community oriented, maybe. Not that the other isn't, but it's intentional. It's very intentional in what it's trying to do and everything.
It felt like going to a high school reunion that you actually wanted to go to, and like people just like knowing you and liking you and just being like, oh man, it's good to see you and da 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 da, and like, and like watching them be a little disappointed because they're like, what'd you bring? And you're like, I brought myself. Want to hear about my business? Was funny, but also like expected.
I think, honestly, Jeff, I think if you went back to Brick Fair, Alabama the second time, and more people would know you, as a returning person. But I agree. Like I've always said that walking into a convention the second time is kind of like for me going to a family reunion where I don't always remember everybody's name because I come from a really big family. My mom's side would be like, oh, I think that's my third cousin twice removed that just said hi to me. But
right,
but
that's what it
people
felt
are
like.
friendly and it's a good time.
Cool.
Yeah, I had a great time. I can't wait to go back next year if I'm able to. So.
Now I just need to drive all the way across the United States to go to it next year.
You stop in Oklahoma and pick up Jeff.
Oklahoma.
I think that's a 3-day drive to
it's
get
like
to
a 5-day drive.
Is it?
There, yeah.
It depends on how many national parks you have to stop at along the way.
Oh, the counties I could rack up.
Magnus,
how you doing, Magnus? Good to see you in the chat there. All right. So I was actually sometimes I get in the mood where I'm like, there's only limited Lego conventions I can go to because of what I do and time off I can take on weekends and stuff. So I really wanted to get outside of the maybe 2 or 3 shows that are not local that I get to go to. And so I was feeling a little FOMO, I'm being honest, about seeing all the amazing things at Bricks Cascade, just because that's one of those things I'd like to go to. That's a group of people I'd like to meet, and I don't get to interact with them. So, yeah, I was feeling the FOMO big time. But then I missed my show with my friends this weekend because also of work. So let's go to the person who actually attended Matt.
One of four in the room here.
That's right. Oh, that's right. But anyway, how was the show for our lug?
So it was a couple unique things, I think, or at least atypical things. One, it snowed the morning of the show, so it's all for me. It was like over an hour drive. It's on the northwest side of, really outside the Atlanta metro area. It's really closer to Rome, Georgia, which Mr. Giddens happens to know a lot about.
Yeah.
But it's kind of outside the metro area, so you kind of clear the outer suburbs, and then there's a little bit of more sparsely populated area, and then you pull off, and it was at this hotel, Marriott Hotel Convention Center. But I was stunned because there literally was little tiny snow flurries, which is pretty rare in Atlanta, Georgia. But the turnout for this National Model Railroad Association Piedmont division was quite good on Saturday. It was actually pretty thick with attendees, and as the Lego train layout, we're kind of tucked back in a side room, and the sheer number of times I heard model railroad people come in and say, I didn't know you could do that with Lego, was highly entertaining. So, if you go and show at a Lego convention, most of the people walking in there know at least something about, you can build stuff out of Lego. But we had a lot of, and I use this term very lovingly, old codgers who came in and they were like, wow, you can do that with Lego? And they kept asking us what scale the railroad was. And, we told them like, well, it's kind of a modified O, just to make them stop asking us. But they had a lot of, there were a lot of people who were pleasantly surprised and asked a bunch of questions. And they were like, how long did it take you to set it up? And can you buy these? And I said, no, they're all, unique creations by people in our local chapter. So that was really fun. And sometimes this was my 5th show this year, and I'll be honest, I had a bit of show burnout, but it was fun being there on Saturday and seeing new people who didn't know anything about Lego building get that sort of the joy of surprise, like, oh wow, oh look at that. And we didn't even have Chris's Waffle House, so we didn't even have any It's a Waffle Houses.
There's no Waffle House.
No.
0 Waffle Houses exclamations. But we had lots of people who went, oh, I recognize that building. It's the Big Chicken, which is a famous landmark in Cobb County, Georgia. Or the Center for Puppetry Arts, done by our friend Larry, got quite a few comments from people.
That's an excellent
and someone
building.
even recognized the Rome, Georgia tower that our friend Thomas built, and he's a local from Rome, Georgia, so he brought his tower. So it was a good time.
Good. All right, that's awesome. The funny thing is Cartersville actually is now closer to where I live in Kennesaw than where I lived in Rome. We just couldn't get up there, so I hate it. Y'all had to endure no Waffle House. That's on me, man. That's
It's tragic.
I feel bad. I feel really bad.
Yeah, I apologize. I already had prior engagements.
So anyway, now and that's good. It's good that our club has really rocked out a bunch of shows in the first part of the year. And
we're ready for a break.
Yeah, we are. So because you can get burnout by that, and I feel your pain there. So now, Chris, you didn't go, right?
I did not. No.
Wait, sorry, 1 second. I'm going to interrupt like a jerk.
Okay.
I saw Star Skulls on sale at the show.
The Space Skulls, Mark said.
Space Skulls, yes.
Sweet.
And they wanted $195 for it, and I went, no, thank you.
Oh, that was cheap.
I know.
Well, the funny thing is that set will go for, on Bricklink, it'll go for anywhere from 50 to 100, but it's interesting that at a show it was that much.
It was sealed and in mint condition.
I've had people bring the Star Justice set to me and ask me to sign it, and I'm like, you realize I'm devaluing this, right? Because you have a mint in box set. You want me to sign it? I'm not famous, so that's going down in value. Right?
Do you not understand what it means to go to an author and have them sign the book? You don't understand that it actually increases the value of the book because it's signed by the author?
Yeah, but people know who that author is. Nobody who knows who I am. So
But
I'm
it's
just some cheesemonger writing his name on your set and ruining it.
No, that's
Wait.
not true. That's not
I
true.
have a funny story about signatures. So the Vespa, right? I'm like, we're just gonna auction off the Vespa. Then I like, oh, Lego Masters. So I get in line, I have him signing it, and Moto's like, to Jeff. I'm like, no. And he looks up at me like, what? I was like, not for me.
I'm giving
And
that
he was
away.
like, he was like, oh, okay. And the next day I came up with the Ewok Village, and Moto looked at me, frowned, grabbed a card, signed his message to me, and then signed the box.
He really wanted to sign a message to you, man. That's what it's about. That's cool.
Moto gave me a Moto pin, even. So
Oh, that's even better.
it was
Yeah,
a good time.
I saw Moto on TikTok running around 2 minutes at the convention and everything. It's really hilarious. But it wasn't as funny as last year when he fell. Did you see that video where he's running? He's doing that. Somebody else is filming it. You see him take a corner and he just wipes out, man. It's so funny. Is he as intense in person as he comes across?
When he wants to
No.
be, he is.
There it is.
I got you.
When it's one-on-one with you and Moto, it's not the Moto that you guys know. When it's Moto with a group of people, it's the Moto you guys know. When
That is
there's a
true.
camera present, it is Super Moto that you know. When there's no camera present, it is a different Moto.
Okay.
So the motivation.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, you did.
So,
Yeah,
Jeff, did you see the wave display? Was that as cool in person or
Oh.
better than the video?
Oh my-
Because the video just blew my mind.
Oh,
I
it was
still
so
have yet to figure
satis-
out how they actually did that in there.
It was so satisfying to watch. It's just, oh, there it goes. There it goes. I don't know why, but I stared at it for like 5 minutes. I was waiting for the builder to come back to ask him how. Nobody ever came.
Was that
I mean, I
was
may
that
have a little
before
in
or
my
after
pants as I
somebody hooked
watched
you
it,
up
but
with a
that's
favor?
besides the point. But
They're actually in one of the videos. He has the mechanism, the internal mechanism, next to the build,
Oh, I hadn't seen that one. Apparently.
that's
Yeah. so you can actually
Nobody
see
touched
exactly
that.
how it was done, and it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're watching and you don't know what we're talking about, there was a great little mock of a beach scene, and the wave part of it would ripple and then push up against the beach. He had different color of tile representing where the water came up, and he even had little pieces of grass or seaweed that would free roll up and down with that thing. It was an amazing piece of engineering and art. So that's really cool. Super cool.
there was so much of that though. Like even like on near Xavier's table, besides his wonderful boats, if you looked at the castles and like the different pirate like bases that people built, you would just sit there and you would go, how? Like even as experienced builders, all right, whatever. That question popped up so many times in my head, and it was beautiful. It was
The
it
one
was
that
awesome.
won both Best in Show and People's Choice was this massive pirate diorama with ocean that had layers of bricks on top, and then you could see the water underneath and coral and all sorts of silly vignettes going on through all of it. It also had Pirates of the Caribbean playing on a tiny TV screen. It had a cannon that would fire, or it would fire. It had LEDs that lit up the cannon firing, and there was a sound. And yeah, it was. There were so many amazing technic bits and moving and stuff and things, and yeah.
So, question:
history-
Were most of the
sorry.
builders at Bricks Cascade locals?
Yes.
Probably.
That makes a lot of sense. Portland being a very artsy kind of place, and that's kind of so that lends to some great mock building and things like that. And I'm super excited by that. That's awesome. So
The
good.
so there was a thing that cool that I've never seen before at a con. It was the history of the pirate theme. That was
Yeah,
right by,
they had a section just for classic. It was
yeah.
just called Classic. It was just people showing off their collections. And yeah, they had
People do that?
they didn't have all of them. They were missing a few, but they had like the Caribbean Clipper and Eldorado Fortress and the Black Seas Barracuda. and then the next era, and they had some of the stuff that was built from the idea books. So they weren't official sets, but they were, out there from Lego, and yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was, but like in all honesty, I love seeing my friends succeed. And like anytime I looked over at Xavier's table, he had floods of people just like admiring his boats and like in all honesty, man, seeing you interact with like kids and like kneeling down and talking to them about the history of the boats and not just their cool boats. That touched me.
I kept making him guess how many guns were in the Victory.
It was good though. It warmed my heart to see all those people interested in your builds, man, because you're a friend.
Had they been watching Old Gray Bricks, they would have known.
Indeed. We also actually had a French family come through, and so they were not pleased that we were reenacting Trafalgar because the French movie.
Did you tell them just to surrender right there and just be done with it?
I thought they'd already
I went with the other route.
there.
Rather than being offensive, I pointed out that, yes, we win Trafalgar, but it's going to take us another 37 coalitions to defeat Napoleon on land, so,
Well, why don't they just build a wall so that way nobody can get into their country? Oh.
Well, since Xavier mentioned a small TV earlier, I've got a small TV throwback to the 80s here for you.
Nice.
There you go. By the way, that was the best segue this show has ever had, by the way.
I believe so, yeah.
Does it come in Super Pursuit mode?
It does not yet. I've already had two people ask me that today. I haven't printed. I'm printing out the license plate and Kit's dashboard soon, but yeah.
Isn't it great, Chris, when you do something and you're all excited about it and people are like, "So, are you going to make it better?"
Right? Yeah.
That's not what I was asking, Dana.
No, it is. It's what you were asking.
But I think it turned out pretty well, so I'm very happy with it.
It looks great.
So
it's
is
got
that
the
a
new
kit?
6-wide windshield on it, and I'm liking that. So
was that somebody's instructions, or was that yours?
So
Chris?
Originally, it was a rebrickable that I based it on, and then and here's you can see where my wiring is because all the stuff's in the passenger seat. Originally, it was a rebrickable, but I didn't like some parts of it, so I completely redid all the doors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The front and back are the original rebrickable minus the lights. I did the lights myself.
It looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, turbo boost it and slam it into the wall. That would be awesome. Let's do it.
So if you look between the seats is the on and off button, and then the batteries are hidden behind the seats, and then you can see all the wiring in the passenger seat.
Well, where's the custom printed tiles for the inside?
I put a let's get the glare off. I put a iPad in there, and then right now I just have a little red piece for Kit, but it'll be a printed tile here pretty soon.
Cool.
Make it talk. I'll see what I can do. I might have room for a speaker in here still. Yeah.
Sure you do. Yeah, you do.
God.
But this is a project I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally found a non-Lego lighting kit that would actually do what I wanted to do. So I put that together and finally got all my parts in and got her done this morning.
That's awesome, dude.
That's seriously cool. Super cool.
Also, VW's here.
I know. I let him in the door. Where are you at?
He's in Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary. I'm just waiting in the walkway to the airport or to the airplane. They delayed us. So, but I just want to say hi. I will join in on Thursday and give more details. But
regale us of tales of
pretty much. Yeah.
Not getting to have people to speak.
Tales of 50 kilometers of walking and exhaustion. Yeah.
Wait. Did you fall? I mean, Alabama. No, you fell at Alabama.
Did the hanger make it there and back okay? That's the question.
90%, yeah. A couple of pieces broken, but.
Oh, good.
So.
He had a personal driver in Portland, so he was fine.
How much walking did we do, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I just thought I'd pop in and say hi.
Hey, man. Good to see you, man.
All right, see ya. Yep.
Looking ahead to 2023, Bricks Cascade is going to be moved to May 11 through 14.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Which I could drive to because school is out.
So are they moving it to May? That's weird. Is that I wonder if that's a scheduling thing or?
Yeah, scheduling conflicts, they said.
Classes are out. I could get in the grocery getter and drive all the way across the United States if I felt like it.
And pick Jeff up.
It's possible. It could happen.
And pick Jeff up.
I'm
Hopefully
starting
with
to think
much
about it.
much cheaper gas prices.
If I chip in for gas,
That actually may determine how much I take with me too.
Well, I do have a hybrid, so I could take the hybrid and take less in the cargo hold. That is another option, but that's a full year from now, so maybe gas prices will calm down a bit.
I hope
Maybe.
so.
What you do is you put a roof carrier on the top.
That's true. I don't own one, but it's a possibility.
73.
Did Jeff mean to hop back on?
Yes, because apparently my plane just got canceled and rerouted to a different gate. So it looks like we still have a plane.
Walk to
We
the
still
other
have a
side of the
plane, but
Wow. You
Yeah.
have had like the worst travel experience.
me?
no, he
No,
has.
that's the other Jeff.
Well, that's what I was about to
No,
say.
I've had-
Everybody I know that
hasn't.
went and flew, Jeff had terrible experiences. So
No, but I mean, for us, it's just there's already a plane waiting for us. We just have to move to a different gate and wait for them to get the plane ready for us, basically.
they're winding
So-
up the rubber band. Is that what's going on?
The
Hey,
glue
jet
is
engines-
still drying on the wings.
If this is not a propeller plane, so I don't think there's rubber bands involved this time.
That's a
Yes.
load-bearing label on that wing. So just remember that.
Let's
Yeah.
review Jeff's travel. Flight canceled the first day. Had to leave the second
Yeah.
day. Flight delayed. Flight booked. Couldn't get seated. Had to go back and forth between two airlines at the
This Jeff.
terminal to get a seat. Way back. First plane had to switch planes due to a bad. On the second leg of the journey, flight got delayed by 8 hours. Had to switch planes before that 8 hours was up. On the way home, that was also the plane where I got booked, where my seat got double booked. So I had to be the ignorant jerk that was like, "I'm not moving. This is my seat. I dare you to touch me." That got solved. On the way back, had to switch planes because the first plane was broken again. When I got back to Oklahoma, I was like, "All right, Don's here. What's up, Don? Where's my luggage?" Oh, we sent it to Atlanta.
Oh, you want me to get it for you?
Go pick it up, no problem, man.
I was like, "What?" Yeah, we sent it to Atlanta. Don't worry, you'll get it tomorrow sometime.
Nice.
Did they at least deliver it to your house?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I've got like $1,000 worth of whatnot money in it.
Ouch. I think the
Yeah.
lesson here is don't fly if your name is Jeff to a Lego convention.
Jesus Christ. That's
Fly-
Would appear to be
Fly-
the connection. Yes.
Fly under a pseudonym next time.
I think that I'll go as a Jeff with a G maybe, and that way people will just call me Geoff, and I won't correct them.
Roll with it.
All right. Let's check in with Rich. Rich, you were not in neither of these events today, but how are you?
I'm good. I spent the weekend, instead of doing the BSA show in Virginia, which is kind of an NMRA thing for Boy Scouts, that they pulled off excellently. Wilma LTC did, and I was not there for the first time. I didn't run it either, so I was like, "Wow!" But I spent the weekend doing this.
Cabinets.
Display cabinet. This is where minifigs will go,
Oh,
Very
Cool.
nice.
and small sets that are pilferable.
yeah.
To
to-
entertain the small children that you're not running a candy band.
Yeah, yeah. So
correct Ben
what you
Lego,
heard,
I didn't put money in my bag. It was product in my bag.
product, yes. So I was dripping paint, and I had to clean it up with a brush. That's the sound you heard. But I'm doing stuff. Things are happening. Painted the back walls here, the shelves, so that I have a uniform color in the background. Things are coming along. Things are.
Awesome.
And
dude.
I just
That's
go
gonna
into
be
a-
awesome.
Going to shows. I wanted to go to shows.
Yeah. I think for me, I want to go to shows, but I almost have gotten to where, I love taking my stuff. I want to take like one thing and go hang out at the show and not work, or be like a coordinator or anything. I just want to show up and be cool and hang out and not have to deal with, volunteers and stuff like that, which I have to do all the time. So, so my next convention, and that's why Brick World Chicago sounds great. That I was going to show up, plop a spaceship down, and go hang out with my friends, and that sounds really fun. So
yeah, I mean, you want to go to a show and show something off. I have so many things, and I pulled in so many different directions. It's like, what do I bring? I don't know. I live down the road. I'll just bring everything. But that's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. I'm going to have to be selective.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, planning for Chicago, Matthew and I have already exchanged a couple messages back and forth, and he's like, so yeah, you're going to bring the moon base and your town modulars, and I'm like,
no,
I don't think so. At the moment, I've settled on just taking the monochrome and the space habitats, and I'll decide to go from there. Depends. Because like Chris is saying, I want to go and hang out and have fun. I don't want to sit there and have to be building crap for 2 days.
There's 3 days of setup. 3.
Yeah, but no. But when I go to Brick Fair, Alabama, I got to show up. I got to show up early, but I got to put tablecloths, and I had like 7 different sections to take care of. I mean, and so coordinated all that, get all that down. People are asking me questions. I got to run and see if there was a whole lot of stuff, and I had to set my stuff up, and we had a little aggravation in our display with our club anyway going on. It's like, this is unfun for me. So I want to just go and hang out and everything. We also have some folks, by the way. Moto is here.
Moto's in the house.
Moto's in the house. David St. Cyr is here. And Brom is here. So
fuck you, Moto.
What?
Sorry.
Is that what you're saying that to?
Get ready to land this plane.
There you go.
Sorry.
15 minutes.
Where's the PG-13? That was the one per movie.
Okay, and let's just say in Batman, which is not a kids movie, they got they got the one big bad word in 5 minutes. They're like, this is PG-13. Here you go. Let's drop that word and let's keep on going. So
you wouldn't take your 6-year-old nephew to that?
Huh?
You wouldn't take your 6-year-old nephew to the new Batman movie, Chris?
No. Well, I don't want to pay for the therapy, so. Also, the movie, it is not for the Riddler. Writing creepy and stuff, which was the right call, is not for little ones. So
if you, by the way, if you ever want to experience real life Gotham City, Portland downtown in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Hobos.
I'm not wrong. I'm not
the good kind.
Like, there was definite alleys where, like, man, if I had a wife and kid, we'd be dead, and that kid would be Batman.
Yeah, especially if the wife had pearls.
Right?
If I took my wife with pearls down this alley, done.
Well, I mean, I had heard that rumor that things were like that there, so you confirmed it, so that's good to know. So
it's I won't go into my critique about Portland. I loved the city. Lots of blemishes, lots of shiny parts, but there were some streets that I was just like, roll them up, lock them up.
I guess they're keeping Portland weird then.
I half expected to see the bat signal. That's all I'm saying.
So one random thing I forgot to mention is that with the conclusion of our show, they're back, people. The ladies are back above the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, and the Millennium Falcon is stuck in them. Look at there.
And other modulars which need considerable repair have been brought in to the repair shop before we go to Chicago. So I have 90 days to fix all the ails and finish some other things like making this taller. So,
all right, Matt, I'm going to challenge you as one ADHD brother to another to not be like me and start that about a week before.
Oh no. Each month, certain things have to get done for us to be ready for. Because my perspective, I'm the opposite of Dana apparently on this one. This might be the only time I go to Brick World. I'm taking everything in the kitchen sink I can fit in that CRV. So, I mean, I am bringing all the painted ladies. I am bringing all of the San Juan buildings. I am bringing every modular that I have built and probably some new stuff and the Jetsons.
What is that?
Because it's my chance to make a splash, and who knows the next time I'll be back. You know, maybe I want to go to Seattle one of these times. I want to go to Portland. You know, there's other shows around the United States I'd love to go to, and who knows when I'll go back. I went to Brick Fair, Virginia, and I took the attitude of this might be the only time in a decade I'm going to go. So I'm going to take everything I could fit in the car. You know, we're going to load up.
And you may wind up talking me into doing that, because I actually started going through the basement and I was like, oh, I'm not taking this to a show. Maybe I should take this with me. Or
you realize that, you know, you've taken stuff to Brick Fair, Alabama. People have seen it before, but people in Chicago haven't seen any of your stuff.
Well, so, and the thing is, though, I don't want to take the moon base, because unless Giddens was going, then the two of us could do moon base together, and it would be, you know, not just me. And I think
impressive,
cool.
Yeah.
But but that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do just by myself. And it's so easy just to take some of the other stuff. Now the modulars, the brew pub often gets lots of comments, so that's good to take. It lights up, so I can turn that on at night for when they do lights out. But I do have a bunch of other littler things that I think I'm going to bring with me just to put on the table, because we did so many lug challenges, and I've got so many things. I'm like, I could just take all this with me, and it shouldn't be no big deal, because it's easy to just plop and go, as opposed to the moon base that takes time to set up. So.
Yeah, I still think you should bring the squashed rover too for comedy.
The squashed rover has gone back into inventory. It's no longer even.
Oh, come on! That's Dude, epic. That's
well, I take that back. I did save the cockpit, because I'm going to repurpose it for something later. But the rest of the rover, yeah, it's gone.
Well,
and then you need to build
memories. It's okay.
Yeah. You need to build a giant brick built like alien with a foot over it, like it just got stepped on. That was talk about storytelling and visual impact. That would rock. And right now we are almost done with Australia season 2 of Lego Masters, and he Brickman is always talking about your storytelling. And that would be a story they get some chuckles, especially out of, you know, experienced Lego builders who've probably had a few Lego fails in their own personal build cycle. So I don't know. That's my suggestion. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, and by the way, I think I have figured out somebody I know who's on the show. I won't ruin it for that person, but I think I figured out somebody who's on the show.
For season 3?
For season 3, yeah. I think I figured it out.
Drop a few hints. Rhymes with
I don't know. There's an echo. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm trying to think. Well, the thing is, y'all wouldn't really know him because he's more on the clock app and not on our apps. So anyway, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because they may or may not have. They didn't, but anyway, they didn't say anything to me about it. But anyway,
in the chat, David has commented that if he came to Chicago, then yes. And then if we could get Cow Dice to come down to Chicago as well, and then yes, we would have just this mega moon base in Chicago. That would be intense. So
I will speak about it again, and I will check out Jake. And even if Jake doesn't come, I might consider it. It's just the fact that I only have certain weekends I can take. So,
and you know what? Maybe we do Chicago with Moonbase the next time
in the future. Yeah,
I
got it.
I mean, I will say this: that Moonbase does take you longer to set up. Like, I can bring my modulars in, and I wheel them in, and I take them out of the box.
Yeah.
And I put back a few things that fell off.
Yeah.
And I put people in front of them and a few cars, and I'm done. Setup doesn't take long. I mean, it's like boom, boom, bang. Oh, I want to rearrange the order they're in. Okay, let's swap a few things out, and I'm done. When I went to Virginia, setting up the modulars took almost no time. It was the fact that part of the cathedral collapsed. That's what took time. I had to go back and rebuild the cathedral for the show, and then it completely collapsed on the way home. So, you know, I still would love to rebuild that thing for Chicago, but that's kind of the last of my priorities. We'll see if it happens.
Moonbase can go together fairly quick if you have 2 or 3 builders. If you've got more than 5, then you've got to start figuring out connectors and then putting the monorail on it. And if you're waiting on folks, then it's. But if you had all 4 there, and everybody could pull our stuff out and get the base down, and then assemble all their details on it, it really wouldn't take that long. As long as you only have 3 or 4. If you then start getting a big community build and waiting, that's why it takes so long, because monorail has to wait till everybody's set. So.
But if you have everybody who knows already ahead of time what you're doing, and you already have it laid out like we do for town, it's easy. We come in, we drop, and you go. And I know that Mark has commented that was kind of like the lifeblood of Moonbase, is that it wasn't supposed to be, that you had to plan it out, because people could just come in and drop and it would be organic. But when you're talking about people bringing 12 48 by 48 base plates, you need to know what's going on and who else is coming in, and somebody just pops in and says, "Hey, I've got a base plate that's got a 3-way connector. Can I slide it in here?" No, we needed to know this last week, not on the fly. So, it changes the dynamic of what you're doing. If I only had like 1 or 2 Moonbase plates, I'd be like, "Hey, sure, I'm coming in. I'm going to drop those things down and somebody can figure it out, and I'm going to go party and do whatever." But when I'm bringing in 12 base plates, it's time. It's time, it's effort, and getting everything set up and working and coordinating with people. But yeah, no, I want to do a big, country-wide collaborative or international collaborative Moonbase at a show at some point in the future. But I think Chicago is going to be a drop and play convention kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it.
And since neither of us have ever been to Chicago, if people want to leave us tips in the chat about, like, I've been to both Brick Fairs, and so I understand like how you sign up for games, and that there's a lot of stuff to do on setup days that you can take advantage of. But I don't quite understand all the setup activities that happen. I mean, I talked to Connor, who's a mech builder here in Atlanta, and he was like, "Oh, you hang out with people and it's fun." And I was like, do I need to sign up for anything? How does
I think it's going to be a completely different experience.
You need to go to the grilled cheese place that's on the lake.
Okay.
Grilled cheese place on the lake. Could you be a little more descriptive?
I wish I could.
Okay.
Are you talking about Ed the Bevics, or
maybe it's
Ed Bevics
BYOB, and they make a 7-pound grilled cheese sandwich challenge. It's French fries, grilled cheese sandwich. If you notice, there will be a picture of Jeff on the wall.
If I'm going to go into town, I
lived in the western suburbs for my entire youth and early part of my life, and I've never heard of the cheeseburger place with the big grilled cheese sandwich place. But now I feel the need to seek it out, especially if you're there or there's a picture of you there.
If I'm going into town, it's to eat at the German restaurant called the Berghoff. Like
the Berghoff. I have been to the Berghoff. I have been to the Berghoff many a time, actually.
I've been to Berghoff many times as well. There's no picture of me on the wall, but maybe we can change that. I don't know.
Well, is that name for Gary Berghoff?
It's been over a decade since I went to Brick World, and when Linda and I went, it was in the Weston, on the far northwest part of town. So I can't tell you exactly what it's like. Plus, it's run by totally different people too. So,
and if I'm not mistaken, isn't it out in Schaumburg or something?
Yes, it's Schaumburg now.
Yeah,
it's all in Schaumburg. Yeah.
Which so in the grand scheme of things, and this is for you, Matthew. Basically, if we want to go downtown, it's like if we're at home and we want to go into Atlanta, we're going to be about.
It's not an easy drive.
Yeah, it's west of O'Hare.
Yeah.
So Thomas was like, "Oh, well, where are we at? Maybe I could just take the L." I was like, "Thomas, you're going to have to drive to O'Hare to get on the L, and then you can go downtown."
Yeah.
Which he might do because he doesn't care about going to Lego stuff. So he might.
Or he might actually even able to take the Amtrak from Schaumburg straight downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the train I used to take when I used to work downtown.
I told him that we're staying in the conference hotel for the reason that I can take the elevator down and he can go anywhere he wants to in the car.
There you go.
The car is yours. I can get a ride if we're going to lunch with somebody else. I'll just take the elevator down and boom, I'm right there. So,
cool.
Yeah. And Matthew, to answer your earlier question, I mean, I've been to Brick World a number of times. It's for the games and stuff. It's basically just sign up on a table or something that day.
Okay.
Generally,
So it's not
speaking.
ahead of time so much. You just do it.
Sometimes it is. It depends on what it is, in all honesty. But they'll have that on the private Brick World page.
That's pretty much what it was in 2007. It was like you show up and you do something.
Yeah. And unlike most places, they have a whole lot of panels and stuff there, and they're usually really, really informative.
Okay.
And usually they like the keynote's usually done by somebody from Lego, or at least it has been multiple years.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how that works. For poor Fazoom, who just walked away, I mean, they do have space battleship, where you take your spaceships that are in, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 long configurations, and when they get blown up, you literally drop them and they explode.
No, I am not playing Smashy Smashy. That is not happening. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I the first year I saw that, I freaked out. I'm like, oh, what is going on here?
I had seen Simon Liu throw this amazing ship off and it blow up, and I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah, that's kind of against my Lego religion. Like destroying it, I just it's painful. I no.
Yeah. If I hold that thing all the way across the country to drop it, no.
We just started watching the finale of Lego Masters Australia season 2, and at the beginning, I won't give anything away. A very large Lego building is destroyed, and I was like, oh, no.
And I know that there are people I am personal friends with people who do it on a regular basis, and I still cringe every time I hear or see it done on purpose.
Yeah, that used to be Martin's big thing. He would just destroy everything at the end of his creation, because he then rebuilt it. They sorted it out, kind of thing. It wasn't just for it was a little bit for show, but that's just what they did.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that you spent all that time, Anyway,
there is love involved with building, and to just do that, I don't know. I mean, some people like asphyxiation, but I don't go in for that. So,
no.
Somebody asked me like, "Oh, would you sell one of your builds?" And I said, it would have to be a lot of money to get, because I'm like, every build was like my creativity, my time, me rebuilding it after I broke it. Me rebuilding it because it wasn't strong enough. I was like, for me to part with something, I mean, maybe if like somebody wanted to buy my newspaper building, I would take a bunch of photos and know that I could rebuild it, but you'd have to blow me away for me to just sell it.
$500 cash and grab right now.
Kind of going in the direction.
Yeah, I need to see that. I need to see cash, or I need to wait for the check to clear. That is all.
Speaking of Martin Harris, I just want to recognize that our friend and colleague has become something of a prodigy, whipping together an entire madrigal house in what seemed like 5 minutes in his evening, while he's also building all these other things.
I have a funny story about Martin Harris in Oklahoma City this weekend.
Okay.
Apparently, he went to the Lego store and just went of all the pick-a-brick and bought all of it. And like my lug guys were like, "What the hell?" Like, you know how they have brooms? Like Martin had the broom and was, and like,
wow,
yeah.
Well, that explains why he has so many bricks available.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, Martin has a good job, so he has the availability for funds to do that. And I mean, I'm learning this over years, and that's why I still build small things. And that the way I can build something big is I build a bunch of small things to make it big. Because to build like that, you've got to have what did he order? 9,000 of those little tiny roof tile pieces in multiple 9,000 of these things just to do the roof. That's it. That's how you've got to do that. You can't.
So what you're saying is we should mug Captain Xavier because he builds really big things.
Yes.
This is why.
No. But I mean, all the really,
if I want to build a building,
all the really big shock builds you see, they're because they're massive, they're huge, and the only way to do that is you've got to have serious amounts of bricks. I mean, Jeff Van Windham, he was basically drying up brickling cellars for gray bricks while he was building his castle. I mean, that's how you got to do it. It's crazy.
Yep.
And you got to commit to it.
And you got to play the guitar on the MTV. So
Yeah.
And you have to have something of a plan, because otherwise you get a third of the way in and you're like, oh, I ran out of this color and I have to wait a month for stuff to show up. And
that's the thing. Martin has he knows what color and what he's going to build with, and he knows it. Rich is flexing in the
Rich, I'll be right over.
Xavier is about to have an aneurysm because I don't think he's ever seen Rich's collection.
No. He's just doing something off camera that we don't want to see.
His eyes just roll back in the back of his head there.
Bobo Lavo, I can feel that. I don't have the patience to place 9,000 of anything. Yeah, I get that.
But if you're buying 9,000 of the same thing, there's no sorting. It just goes into a bucket.
Yeah. Well, but even Martin tried to. I think he even subcontracted some
with his kids. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how he puts in the time at his good paying job and still has time to build that stuff, because
he doesn't sleep.
Time.
That's a real question.
No, he doesn't sleep. He answered the question because he had sleep apnea, and for the longest time he slept most of his youth away. So now he's like, I hardly ever sleep.
Yeah, he does not.
It has to be.
Yeah. Crazy.
I have one last thing to show off.
All right.
I was inducted into the Bearded Builders Guild.
Sweet.
And
I need to get one of those
to the back of my 100 gun.
Nice.
That means that there's two of us in that guild in this channel right now.
Well, so all you do is you need that tile to be inducted?
Nope.
You have to be nominated. They have to recognize you and see you and give you a thing. And I have never been able to.
They have to.
Gave me the thing. I assumed it was official.
Then, yes, Cody gave you the thing, and then he knighted you.
So what we're saying is my unshaven goatee isn't good enough for this club.
Your beard is insufficient.
I'm the only one here without the beard. I apologize.
So if Cody gave me the tile, am I inducted?
Did he knight you?
He didn't knight me, but he did give me the tile.
You're getting there then.
Okay, so I'm halfway there.
You need beard extensions.
I do not have a brick or a big BBS forged brick, no. But I do have the tile though. So I do.
But do you have the brown brick though?
Yeah, Moto has one, and I don't think Moto was bearded at the time, but
no, Moto had a goatee.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
If you have a goatee, you should just get half the brick.
Moto said Doc has very soft hands. I'm just. I know Mark wasn't here to help Chris with the interesting comments, but that one needed to be restated. And moving on,
Doc, I'm already taken.
I do have something to show that I meant to show last week, but then I wasn't on Thursday, so I do have something to show. So
you haven't been highlighted anyway. Show.
So because even Jeff was asking about.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
There it is.
Yeah, cool.
If I were to be lame and build a train, it'd be like that.
Yeah, I saw this on Facebook, and I clicked on the page, and I looked at it, and I'm like, that's freaking genius. I got to have these instructions. I got to build this. And, of course, it doesn't use any Lego motors. It's a third-party company.
The dirty fake.
It is. I love the fact that
how do you sleep with
Campbell was
yourself
talking about using third-party lights, because I'm going to use third-party motors. So a company called Circuit Bricks.
Haven't heard of them.
Space Rovers.
They got this nice little Bluetooth battery, and you can get 3 motors in the Space Rover box. Yes, I thought it was quite humorous that I bought a rover, Chris. Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Did they feel sorry for you and send you
No,
in
they
for
didn't
free?
feel sorry for me, but it did me feel happier though because I had a little rover. So when I looked up, because in the build, and I'll show you here. So the car itself is designed to fit the battery box and the engine and the motor in there to turn the wheels and run along the track. So that's everything else is Lego. This is the only thing is just the battery box, the Bluetooth battery box, and the engine, the motor, and then one ribbon cable to connect the two together. That's the only thing you really have to have. But when I looked on Circuit Brick's website, to get one motor or one battery and one motor, was $50 because the Bluetooth battery is like $30 and the little motor was 20. And I was like, well, that's kind of pricey. And then I looked to see, oh, well, but if I buy a kit, it's $55 and you get extra motors. I'm like, well, then it's cheaper just to buy the kit. And then Amazon had it on sale for $5 off. So it was 55 instead of 60. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but
And it arrived the next day.
So you bought 100?
But in that configuration, you can only run one motor for the battery.
Well, no,
Still need a
because
couple
the battery has 3 connectors, A, B, and C.
Yeah,
So
but
you
you're
can
not
actually-
using all 3.
Well, in this one, I'm not.
Yeah.
In this
Not yet.
particular configuration, I'm not using all 3 motors.
You're going to ramp it up to 11. Is that what you're saying?
Lay off, Dana. He has successfully used a rover correctly. So let him go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
because
retract
the
my
rover on the
question.
box, the rover on the box actually does use all 3 motors in the rover configuration.
So question about the
but you're not
battery. Is
doing
it
that.
rechargeable or is it like
It is
watch
chargeable.
batteries?
It is a Bluetooth. You plug in a USB cable and you plug it into your standard USB port, and boom, you're charging and ready to go. And I believe when it's JR or JK Brickworks, I think is the name of the guy who designed the whole thing to do this and using that. And I think he tested it with a slightly bigger layout than what I'm doing. I think this is 13 straight pieces, and he used 17 straight pieces and a few more curves. And I think he ran it on a single charge for like 12 hours.
Holy moly.
So it's a decent battery. And he said that even if you wanted to go even longer on the single charge, and I might be off on the timing there, and maybe it might have been 12 hours with only 3 cars as opposed to the 5. But even still, it was pretty. I mean, the battery holds a good charge, and it's got a good grip, gription to it. So it works well.
You said gription. That was one of my favorite non-words. Thank you very much.
So Dana, you're gonna at least change the roller coaster track color to gray, right?
Yes, I am going to change it. I only happen to have red because we got red track from Bulk Lug last year.
Or
in this year's Bulk Lug, we are getting gray track, and I got 100 straight pieces coming, so I can do a much bigger layout and just order curved pieces, and those are actually pretty cheap because they come.
Or I was going to say you make it into M-Tron, but I wasn't going to pull it.
Or I could turn it into M-Tron.
Or you put a yellow orb in the middle of that red track, and you've got the classic space symbol reference going.
That's a truth too. I could put a big yellow planet kind of thing in there.
Yeah, you could.
But I think this will be great for both Moonbase and Town. I just haven't figured out how it's going to work yet, but at least the proof of concept works, and it works really well. So I just need to do something with it for one of our lug shows next year.
Super good. Somebody's
super
beating
cool.
somebody with a plastic bin. I don't know who that is.
It's not me.
It's not me. I didn't do it. Not this time.
Could be anybody.
Well, very briefly, just because I was reminded I had pizza for dinner and today is Pie Day. Happy Pie Day, everybody.
Happy Pie
Speaking
Day.
of Brick World, the best pizza I've ever had, and I'm a fairly competent person when it comes to pizza because if you've seen me, you know. Anyway,
you be careful.
Giordano's right down the road from the hotel where Brick World is, the single best pizza I've ever had in my life. And that's saying something for me.
Is it New York
the place
style
where-
or is it
No,
cake
it is
style?
traditional deep dish Chicago. And when I say deep dish, I'm talking that pizza is about yay thick.
So was
I
it
mean,
Giordano's?
Not so much a pizza as a casserole at that point.
It's
Or cake? Yeah,
Oh,
it
no,
doesn't
no,
sound-
yeah. Yeah,
Don't
that's
do
a,
that.
good, that's a good description of it.
No, what I need to know is what the name of the place was.
Giordano's.
Thanks.
Giordano's. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Giordano's. And yes,
Giordano's.
Giordano's is
Giordano's.
probably the best pizza, bar none.
Yeah.
If you
I mean,
can't
it's so
fold your
good. A couple
pizza-
years ago when I couldn't go and I had friends up there, you can order frozen pizza and have them ship it to you like in a day.
Yes, you
There,
can.
there are a couple other really good places. Like, it depends on your style of pizza. Like, my wife likes a thin crust. Granted, it's still hand tossed, but it's a thin crust. It's not a New York thin crust. And for that, you want to go Rosati's. But as far as like traditional Chicago style pizza, for me, it's Giordano's bar none, hands down.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I'm-
so
People will
that's-
tell you Gino's
I was
East.
made a believer the first year I went to
Yeah.
Brick World, and I go there every time.
People will tell you that Gino's East is the way to go. And if you go to like the original Gino's East downtown, you can write on the walls and everything's, but it's just not as good in my opinion. It's just not.
It's kind
100% with you.
Philly cheesesteak debate in Philadelphia, huh?
Dana is my brother by another mother because we both love Giordano's and we both agree Gino's is overrated.
It is.
It is.
It is. It is. And then the other thing that we have to talk about real fast, and we'll talk about this probably more and more.
Wait a minute. Can I just say that I don't think Braum was meaning anything weird by that, but I can't not think that somebody
again. We're
and
missing
then,
Mark to be able to police.
I don't know what
that
means.
Wow. To make some sense. But the other thing that we have to do that if you guys haven't gone to is we have to go to Portillo's.
Oh yeah.
Because whether you like hot dogs or not, I'm going to make you
good.
have an Italian beef, and you got to get cheese and sweet peppers on there and have it dipped.
I'm going to make you have Italian beef.
Speaking of Portillo's, they opened one right off of I-4 on the way to Disney.
I did hear that they did put one in Florida. Yes.
Yeah, it is open.
Can I just say
that's
that
so all the Chicagoans don't
to,
have to starve when they go to Florida.
Can I tell you that me wanting to go to Brick World is now all about the food, and it has anything to do with the brick. So
you don't think I brought this up with Chris intentionally?
I know.
We know your weak spots in your armor.
So Chris, what you're saying is that you're excited about sticking hot Italian beef in your mouth.
Nope, I'm
That's
not.
what he said. That's
You
what he
got-
said.
No, I said I was going to force a hot Italian beef into his mouth.
Force it.
Oh, you're going to force
I
hot
was going to
Italian
make
beef
him
in his mouth.
put it in his mouth.
So here's the
Emily
other thing.
is shouting no
Chris,
violently
if
in the
you-
background, by the way.
If you come to Brick World Chicago, I will throw you in the van, and we'll, with your permission, with your consent, and we will drive to Mater's in Milwaukee and have the best German food that I've ever eaten in my life. It's
and Milwaukee's
insanely
only about
good.
an hour and a half away, so yeah.
It's not that far from. If you're in Chicago, Milwaukee really isn't that far. You could go up and have an amazing dinner at Mater's, and the sauerkraut literally just like melts in your mouth.
It's called Mater's, like down here, Mater.
Yes, Meder, but it's a good German Mater.
Not Mater, Mater, like a tomato. Okay,
no, it's not
close enough.
Not like
close.
Best
enough.
German food ever.
Yeah, if I keep making those jokes, I'll get banned from Facebook again. So yeah, that'll happen. By the way, I am building something. Actually, I got to build this weekend. I've been building since we started a classic space with using the new canopy from the new space stuff, like a ship that goes from the new space stuff to classic space era. So been dorking around with that while we've been talking about food. And I made this weekend Ice Monster.
Very cool.
I'm getting strong Chima vibes. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah,
I like it.
Oh, I like the tail. I didn't see the tail before.
Yeah, I hadn't finished that when I shared that with you and everything.
That adds to it. That definitely adds to it.
But the face and the teeth is actually made by classic Blacktron 2 backpack. Jetpack is the basis for the.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
There he goes, mouth open there. Ah.
Awesome.
Chris,
how about that?
Chris, does this mean that you're going to start building Ice Planet again?
Yes, because I have my Ice Planet dudes ready to go. So yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
you got your Mandalorian helmet back there too. I see.
I got a what?
You got a Mandalorian helmet.
Jake gave me that for my birthday. So
that was nice.
Yeah, so I got a Mandalorian helmet and a castle and everything. So to build, so I'm gonna build Star Wars and castle, and then I'll build some cool space. But
speaking of castle, I managed to get the medieval blacksmith and the Fender guitar set this weekend for $100 for both.
What?
Were they used?
They were used.
I got the first floor of the
$100
blacksmith shop
both.
for free at Brick Cascade. That was the speed build, and it was a 6-person speed build. So we divided it up, and there were really 3 groups of 2, and so we broke it up into floors.
Nice.
That's cool.
But yeah, I built the blacksmith yesterday, and I absolutely love that, and I want to build a castle now, I guess.
Yeah, it's a fun build.
Can you share where you got these? It's such a great deal.
It was a guy on Facebook Marketplace, local.
I'm guessing it's the same
yeah,
guy.
we talked. Yeah, I think it's the
It's
same
the
guy.
same guy. He builds it once and then he sells it for like half price. And I'm like, you need to just message me next time. He did.
I told him that. I'm like, hey man, you got
How do I
anything
get
else?
on his Christmas card list? Yeah,
I will drive to the Big Chicken just to get half
That's
price.
where I'm heading.
Oh, he's over here?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Intense. By the way, you mentioned that the 90th anniversary thing. We learned offline that this gentleman right here is sick and tired of us classic space people complaining, so he would have none of it. So we're not talking about that set in this show at all, even though we're
I'm
getting
excited about the Alliance cast.
I may have used the word "big whiners" when I was talking about their reaction to it, but I don't want to. I really don't want to just talk about it. So I'll be happy to just move along to another topic. But hey, I just want to say congratulations, Castle people. I'm happy for you. Hopefully someday Classic Space gets that kind of attention, but I don't want to beat a dead horse.
We get a classic spaceship in the Lego movie line.
It doesn't count. So I
You're
know
stealing my line.
Now you're just moving goalposts.
You're stealing my lines.
All right, but wait. So we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this, and this was the big news that came out for Lego this week, was that A-Fold Day is changing. It's no longer going to be 15% for your purchase. It's going to be a gift with purchase that you spend $75 for, and you get an exclusive A-Fold set that's only limited for that event that day. And it's been rumored that the first set is going to be a remake of a 1978 set. Now, I know that it's a town set because the way they described it, but
you suck. Can I get to say that one time? Because all of a sudden I was like, what? You said 78 and then you freaking town set.
But wait. Cool your jets
this year.
The thing is, though, this is how it's going to be going forward. So there are going to be 2 more sets like this year, and they're going to be continuing it going forward in the next couple years. So maybe this is how we start getting set revivals for A-Fold Day sets.
Okay, 78, a 78 set that I can think of that would be really cheap for them to make and really piss us off is the Spirit of St. Louis.
No, I would love that because I had that as a kid. I love that little plane.
I have one. I know I have one, but that's not the point. They're going to remake something like that. Come on.
They gave an FAQ at the end of the announcement for that they were making the changes and this and that. And the very last one is that the sneak peek or the guess of it is what is red, green, and white and gray all over. You might regift it, and it comes in squares or something like that. It's something that's not verbatim, but so the thought is that it's going to be a remake or something of the 1589 town square set from 1978.
So wait. Let me see. So this is a giveaway gift with purchase.
It is a gift with purchase,
which is problematic because you're limited to one.
So here you go. I have either got to go spend $200 to get this little set that I want.
It's the Octane tanker. That's what it is.
Fight off a bunch of sweaty nerds to get there, and then I'm not guaranteed to get one.
But wait.
You're disincentivized to spend more money.
Get one because this is limited to only registered A-Folds.
I know.
You
but
must be a member of a registered lug. So if you are just an A-Fold,
I'll get on that then, shouldn't I?
You have to spend your $15 on a peach lug. It sounds like you need to get your son his own peach lug account so you can get Dwa.
My son can't have a peach lug account until he's 18, and that'll be in 2 years when the thing comes around. So
well, there's the other alternative. You can get Mel.
Didn't go well.
Yeah,
nothing. Mel to sign up.
They're disincentivizing themselves because I know I spend a lot of money on those days normally for the
but you know what though? So all of us who are privileged A-Folds who live near a Lego store and live in a country that has a plethora of Lego stores, we're not the ones they're concerned with. We are the ancillary. Yeah, you guys are entitled. Get over it. Where this is probably affecting is the countries that don't have regular Lego stores or don't have, that have a larger amount of scalpers who are taking advantage of A-Fold Day for scalping purposes. Because I know for a fact that there are people who buy sets in Texas drive them here, and then return them to one of our Lego stores here for gift cards. And there's a scam that's going on for this. And so those types of things are the reason that Lego is trying to find a way to say, well, let's change the process.
But the problem with that is that Oklahoma's lug isn't officially recognized, and that screws me over.
Well, but that also
You can get an arc
encourages
lug,
people to
Arc
get
lug would
their
take-
lugs to be more active. Is it my fault because my lug is active and another area of the
No,
country-
that's
Is
not
it?
what I'm saying at all. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying
Let's
is I
put
tried to
let's
join
put
the
hot
Peach
beef
Lug
in Jeff's
once,
mouth.
and then I got rejected.
It's because you're not local. The whole point of it, if we were a virtual lug, which in time, I'm sure that Old Gray Bricks will become its own virtual lug and will do something, who knows. But a lug should be about the people that you get together with.
I know.
Now, I know that there are lugs that are virtual and they only meet up at conventions, and that's the only time
It's
they ever
fine.
see each other.
No, it's okay. What you're saying is that I'm not a real person, even though you guys are
Jeff,
rich.
Jeff, what part of
I don't
Oklahoma
know.
are you in? What
Yeah.
side of Oklahoma are you in?
Oklahoma City.
So there's I know, well, there was Brick Universe this weekend, but I know you were up in Portland.
Yeah,
but
Tulsa lug isn't a thing
yeah,
anymore.
Arc Lug is having something in Northwest Arkansas this weekend. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what town. I want to say the Springdale area, maybe.
I've got a toy show to go to in Texas to move
Gotcha.
some mask stuff. Otherwise, that'd be
If you're interested, holler at me. I can get you contact.
But you
He
do raise a
knows a
good
guy.
point, though. But I think it's interesting because this whole thing revolves around being close to a Lego store, because there are a lot of lugs who are nowhere near a Lego store.
Arkansas.
Yeah. So it really does, but they were already screwed in the discount portion anyway, so they're still going to be screwed with this scenario. However, if they do eventually get to a point where they say, hey, now that everything's been digitized, because now you don't have a sticker on the back of your physical VIP card, you actually have to be entered into the database, and it shows up as an email or on your VIP digital wallet card. That's a short hop for them to say, hey, let's go ahead and allow you to just order it online. But then the whole point is to get people into the store. So who knows what will happen? Who knows?
all I know is that you should let me join Peach Lug.
I got more math to put up.
You can have talk to Matthew. He's the president.
All right.
I think that's clearly in the purview of the Lego ambassador.
Actually, it comes to the board's decision to how far outside of the Atlanta metro area do we allow members to participate, and then do you qualify because you have to do a certain amount of things within the lug to be eligible to do X, Y, Z. So
if we want to go galactic, it's up to our discretion.
it's completely up to the board's discretion to decide to take this thing globally.
Well, I mean, Peach Lug does not specify the borders of Georgia. It's the
does
borders
not.
of a peach, and the planet Earth is kind of a peach. I mean,
I do have a T-shirt that has a peach representation of a Death Star. So
We should make that.
all
Yeah,
right, we've got it.
PG.
We are headed into old school territory. It is an hour and 22 minutes. So
Wow.
Well,
Parliament-
you didn't let me talk until 5 minutes to 9.
This is my show, and I'm ending it now. Hey, this has been a lot of fun, a lot of great conversation with our friends in the chat here, and thank y'all for being here today. Classic Space needs to return. Yes, the new city sets are cool, but it's still not the same vibe, and these things are freaking expensive. So we would like to see some Classic Space back. Sorry, Matthew. Yeah, you're so Anyway, thank y'all for being here today, praying for people that we know and people who are hurting over in Ukraine. Let's stop that crap and let's be awesome and build awesome. Thank y'all for being here tonight.